9.
Okay. Okay.
10 a.m.
We are live. Welcome everyone who is here. To my two that are waiting. Welcome to you. Welcome to all. Welcome to Dr. T for taking her precious time out to join us today. Dr. Heather Townsend, and you can call her Dr. T for short. Okay, we're going to get this started. We're going to, this is an educator's interview. I have 10 questions for Dr. T. Just want to welcome everyone. Welcome all the ones who are here right now. Welcome to the ones that will be coming in. And welcome to the ones that will be reviewing later on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, the purpose of this meeting is to teach. Okay, I'm going to read the statement of purpose. To expand educators' tool chest through honest dialogue about real life experience in the classroom and beyond. And I'm going to be asking Dr. T 10 questions. Actually, I'm going to break it down to 9 questions. The first question is, Dr. T, what was your initial philosophy of education and how has it changed over years in the profession?
Okay, well, first I'll start off by just sharing that I'm from the Philadelphia area, and I went to school to become a teacher at Temple University, and my first inspiration was watching her in the classroom. She was a school teacher in the Philadelphia School District for 38 years. And I remember going to her classroom some days and watching her and thinking, wow, oh my God, she's like a superstar. The kids just adored her. And she was so different as a teacher than she was as a mother. So it was like, who is this person? But when she was on stage, it was like she was on stage. It was like she got in that classroom and she just turned on. And I wanted to create that type of magic, you know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I have taught in Maryland, I have taught in Delaware, and I have taught in Pennsylvania, pre-K through grade 6. And so creating magic was a part of my initial philosophy, but I also had a desire to plant seeds in children. And the seed that I wanted to plant was a lifelong love of learning. I wanted children to be so in love with learning that they just never stop. It's not about school, it's about everywhere I go, I am learning something. And I would say that even today, that is the focus of education for me, because that's how I am as an individual. Everywhere I go, I feel like I'm learning something new, and I don't need to be in a school setting in order to learn. And it has really been a blessing to my life. So that's for children as well.
So you had a sound like
I think the strategies have changed.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a wide range of places where you taught, which is good. You said Delaware, Maryland, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. So that means you have a lot of students that know you.
Thousands.
Maryland, they may say, "Hey, Dr. T." You know?
Yes. Yes. Well, you know, I was Miss Miller back then, my maiden name. So, you know, if any children call me Miss Miller, I know they're from years and years ago. I've been married 23 years now, but I've been an educator for 28 years.
Okay.
And some of the children I taught are now teachers. So that's always fun.
So you made a great influence on them then.
Yes, teachers, authors, Miss Delaware. I taught her when she was in kindergarten, and she's about to get married.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, thinking back to my first year, those kids were 5 years old. So they're like 33, 32, 33 years old now
Okay.
with
All
their
right.
own families.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, my next question is number two. What are your thoughts concerning the number of students in special education these days?
Um, it's about a changing society. You know, we always hear about the one room schoolhouse from 200 years ago where everybody went to school together. And now we're seeing educators trying to be people trying to be better, people realizing children have varieties of needs. And we've been failing a large part of our society. We've been failing children because we're not meeting their needs, because we say all children need to know this no matter what, and we're not looking at how they're coming to us. Um, and it hasn't worked for so many of our children. So we have to be really careful with these labels because
Yeah,
unfortunately, it really does affect our Black and Brown communities more so than it does other privileged communities who are able or who are in positions to get services and help for their children, outside tutoring, going on trips
yeah,
that expand children's understanding of the world and builds their vocabulary, where
yeah,
in some communities where children aren't able to go on vacations every summer and don't have the exposure to larger vocabularies outside of what they're watching on TV and seeing on social media, then you get to like a standardized test and you're not familiar with what they're talking about. If some of the languages around um, being in the mountains on a ski trip and it's vocabulary around that and you don't know the vocabulary, you're going to fail. You're going to come up as beneath the standard or
mhm,
improficient. It doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. It just means you haven't been exposed. So we have to continue to
yeah,
create exposure, but also meet children where they are. And that requires really understanding who they are and what their needs are.
yeah. I don't believe all children are dumb or they shouldn't label them that way. I believe they all have potential. All, even the ones that they label like IEP,
Hmm.
as long as they get the opportunity, if they get that opportunity, they will be able to learn and excel.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So my question number three to you, from your experience, what do you believe are the primary causes to the number of students with ADHD or ODD and anxiety related disorders?
Okay, yes. And I will say this first. As educators, we have like 1,000 different acronyms, and we expect everyone to know what we're talking about. But it's important to make sure for anyone new joining this conversation that ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and it's under the umbrella of ADD, which is attention deficit disorder. You can struggle with focus without being hyperactive.
Yeah,
And then we have ODD, which is also under that same umbrella, and that's oppositional defiance disorder. And
mm,
again, that's with the focus on bucking up against authority, but not necessarily hyperactive. You can say no very calmly. You're
yeah,
not going to do it, right?
yeah,
And we see that more frequently in education. When I was first coming in 28 years ago, you might have one child who had some of those behaviors. And now in a classroom, you have 25 children, you might have 13 or 14 of them
Yeah.
or 15 or 16, depending on your school and the dynamics of that school. And that is quite challenging when you are expected to teach a particular lesson to get through a story. You're sitting and you're reading to your children, and you have this one throwing a pencil across the room, and this one who's bouncing up and down, and this one who's crying because she called him a name, and you're still expected to finish the story and give the assessment, and everyone is expecting you as the teacher to know how to control all of these children. So the anxiety related disorders come in there as well, because everyone doesn't have all the children that I just described. Some will actually be diagnosed, and others aren't diagnosed, but they still exhibit these behaviors. You say, come to the rug. They don't want to come to the rug, and they'll tell you, I'm not coming to the rug. I'm staying at my desk.
Mm.
Well, why is this happening? Because it didn't. I mean, do you remember, Patricia, going to school when you were in elementary school? Do you remember it being like it is right now?
I don't remember it being that way. To be honest with you, I think, I guess my personal opinion, when they took God out of the classroom, I think that's when all the chaos started. That's just my personal opinion. I know everyone don't believe in God and everyone have their own religion, but no, I do not remember all of that in the classroom unless it's something that where the children are eating or drinking that's causing it. It's something, I don't know if it's something in medication that the parents will take. I don't know. I'm not really sure why it's
Yeah.
going on, but I just wanted to did mention, like when you're in the classroom, is it good to have a assistant to help you with the children, like a teacher assistant? Do you guys have that?
Only
Teacher
if the teacher.
assistants?
Yes, but no. Yes and no. So when I first came into teaching, and I'll tie it all back into your initial question, but when I first came into teaching, every classroom had a paraprofessional. And at that time, it wasn't even termed that, it was teaching assistant. So yes, it was like you were the teacher and you had a teaching assistant. An assistant is only good if they share your philosophy and your style. Because if
Mm,
you are saying, down to a student, and the teaching assistant is screaming at the student,
oh, okay.
then you have conflict in the way you're handling. And children, we all know how children can pit one adult against the next adult. So it really requires having a great assistant, someone who you
Okay.
connect with and work well with,
Yeah.
and who shares your style. But they don't that's not how the model is used anymore in my school district. Not nationwide. This is what I can say about my school district in Delaware. Now, each student who has a special need gets a paraprofessional. So if the student is identified with um, special needs, going back to special education, that
Yeah.
could be the IEP. So now that student has a paraprofessional. Now,
Yeah.
the paraprofessional can help with the entire classroom. If you need her to put up her or him to put up a bulletin board, a really good one will do that for you.
Hmm.
But it's not it's not the same as them being assigned to the whole class. They're really assigned to that
Okay.
student or two students, and
Yeah.
it's sometimes students with autism
Yeah.
and some of the really severe behavior issues.
Yeah, I have heard that's what they're doing now. They assign a person to come in the classroom.
Now, um, tying it all back in, I think you're right. Some of our initial ideas were about foods having too many additives, red number 40, yellow number 6,
Mm,
the dyes. So allergic reactions have
mm,
caused hyperactivity. There are lots of studies that show that.
mm.
Um, the TV, too much screen time, too much
Yeah.
gaming time, the violence on the games
Mm,
affecting the child's mind. So worries about that. And then I think society is just shifting where children don't have the same level of respect. Like coming out the womb, they just seem to know more, be able to do more. They have a different sense of who they are. I mean, I remember depending completely on my parents and being completely that respect of authority is what I have to do and what I need to do. And kids today from early on seem to be saying, but why? Why do I need to respect authority? You need to help me to
Yeah,
understand why.
that's the
Even
parents
when they're
too.
not trying to be disrespectful. Like they're good kids saying, but
Mhm.
why? Why do I need to respect that? Why do I need to do it the way you're saying I need to do it? And that's what leads me to feel as an adult like, well, let me take a minute and answer this for myself. Like, because it's just something I was taught too. So, what is the why? What's the answer to that question?
Yeah, yeah, because kids are people too. That's
Otherwise,
hard.
we're just kind of kids.
Yeah, yeah,
So we have to start to give them a little bit of room because they're showing us that they're coming into the world more intelligent
yeah,
than ever before.
yes.
A little bit of room, but then we have to show them at the same time, like, all right, but I've been on the planet longer, so I do have some wisdom.
Mhm.
But you can't shove it at them. You know, like you just have to do it because I say so. Because they're not feeling that. They're like, oh,
Exactly.
I don't,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have to do it because you say so.
I
You know,
know.
so
Yeah,
you have to show them that
yeah, I understand that part because
respect. Show them that
my husband would say I'm so calm with the kids. He said, "How you be so calm? You have to, because if you lash out at them, they're gonna lash back."
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my fourth question. Okay. What strategies to date do you find to be most effective in combating undesirable student behavior?
So just like we were just talking about, you have to have that sense of trust with children, know that you see them as human beings. I
Mhm.
see you as a human being. I see you as my equal. Yes, I have more experience on the planet, and I'm going to teach you through my experiences, but I see your greatness. I see you. And once they feel like great in your presence,
Yes.
they'll do for you. They'll do what you ask them to do. They'll want to do for you. Um, and when they are in a funk and having an issue, it becomes, hey, how are we working through this together? Because we're a team. And yes, they do come in the door many a day,
Yeah.
not wanting to sharpen, not wanting to do the assignment, but it's not like me versus them. It's not the adult versus the child. It's just two human beings we're going to work through a challenging moment together. So, what can I do to assist you in this moment? What do you need in order to get this done? Oh, you need a couple minutes? No worries. Take a couple minutes. We'll get back to it. You
Mhm.
know, so it's that establishing a culture where we're working together toward
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, as a team. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they feel good when you work together as a team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, my fifth question. What do you find are the most important aspects of education as it relates to true student growth?
So for me, it's about, again, going back to my philosophy, creating a sense of desire in every student, desire to be his or her best self. Because remembering what year the Constitution was signed, or remembering, um, the various different facts in history and things like that, that's fleeting and fading. You might need to know that to pass a test, but the qualities that you need to know to be successful in life, that's true student growth to me. One of the saddest experiences I think is seeing our society with all these people who will go and shoot up a mall and shoot the
Mhm.
movie theater up and stuff.
Mhm.
Now you were the kid who got 1500 on the SAT. So you had all the smarts, but something
Yeah.
inside of you was
Mhm.
so broken that you took the lives and took the happiness of a whole community, right? So we want happy, well-rounded individuals who know how to cope because life is hard. Disappointment is coming for all of us. And as
Yes.
you get
We
through
all go
one
through
thing,
it.
as soon as you get through one thing, here comes the next for you to overcome. And people who don't have coping skills go out and hurt others.
Yeah.
So raising children to have strong coping mechanisms and problem solving skills and groundedness.
Mhm.
Um, One of the things in my classroom that I've always done is ask children to do a check-in, like how are you feeling? And a lot of times they're happy happy because my mom took me to the movies, happy because I got some candy or whatever, versus happy because I'm alive. You can't
Yeah.
be happy because of an external something. You have to have a joy within so that even when things don't go right, you still have yourself.
Yes. Your sanity. Yeah.
Yes. And so that is student growth to me because then you have what it takes to keep grinding, keep moving forward, keep learning what you need to know to make your life successful, not just passing tests and getting good grades and then still being miserable and making other people miserable.
Okay.
Misery.
All right. I understand. I know that's right about the miserable. Um,
Yeah.
I have three more questions.
Okay.
Okay, my sixth question: how relevant or effective do you find the standardized testing system? I Wait a minute. I said I was going to do 10 questions. I'm only doing nine. But
Yep. So
okay.
how relevant and or effective? I really think we need to completely revamp the standardized testing system. I had a great conversation with an educator yesterday who was sharing that she felt that the standardized tests have their place. So if you're looking at ways to go back and evaluate with children feedback about areas can grow, it's fantastic. But when you use a standardized test to rate a teacher and say whether a teacher is effective or not, that's not fair. Because then what we have is children or teachers in schools where children are privileged are always going to be rated higher. But that's because those
Mm,
families went on great trips. Those families
yeah.
they paid for the private tutor at $50 an hour,
Yep.
$60
Mm,
an hour.
mm,
Okay, so that's not necessarily on the teacher. And you have a teacher in an urban school where poverty is high and she's working 10 hours a day.
mm,
He is working 12 hours a day researching,
mm,
digging into the doing, reaching out to families, giving heart and soul, and then only 10 to 15% of the students pass the standardized test.
mm.
And that's not a measure of that hardworking, dedicated teacher.
Yeah.
Um, so there does need to be a measure to kind of say, well, how is Pennsylvania doing versus Maryland versus California?
Mm,
All states are required to teach the same thing across fourth grade. How are states doing? How are students doing with these standards that we've created? But too many times what I find is that they get these ratings 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if you get a 4, you're considered smart. And if you get a 1, you're considered the opposite of smart.
mhm.
And children will attach themselves to those labels and they know no matter what you do, the green group, the orange group, the yellow
Yeah.
group, my superstar group, my pioneer group, they'll tell you in a minute, that's the dumb group.
Wow.
and that doesn't matter what name you give them because they have associated with the 4-3-2-1. And if you get the 1 on the test, kids aren't always interested in the feedback because they've already decided I'm at the 1. I'm not going to be able to get it. I don't get it. And they get stuck in that categorization.
Yeah.
Versus, versus understanding I'm brilliant, but this wasn't a great measure of my brilliance. And that's where I'd like to see children. So we definitely have a lot of work to do to
Yeah.
reshape how the test is functioning right now.
Okay. My seventh question. What do you believe is most needed in education today?
I believe, and this is going to tie into policy, need to measure children. We need to create education around what children truly need and what our society needs. So some things we keep teaching that no longer have relevance in society today. And then we're measuring children on things that we don't, that they won't use.
Mm-hmm.
And they're telling us with their behaviors, going back to the question of the ADD and the ADODD, they're telling us, that's the world is moving forward. I want to move forward with the world. And what you're trying to have me do is sit here on this rug for 45 minutes and try and focus in on
Yeah.
something that's not relevant.
So, what does the OD stand for? The letter O.
Oppositional.
Oh, okay. I
Say,
never
let's
heard
go
of
to the
that one.
right. That child is like, nope, I'm going left. Oh, yeah. Oppositional defiance disorder.
Oh,
Yeah. To oppose what's being told of you.
okay. So I asked that question for the audience because they probably did not know what the OD meant.
Yeah. Very good. Please know because we're seeing so much more of it.
Okay. Question number 8. In terms of educational policy, what do you believe we must fight passionately in order to bring about a positive change for children and teachers? Is that
I think we need to fight against traditional education. It's just like somebody stood up and said, this one room schoolhouse isn't working. And that's how we got to all the different buildings that we have now. And we got to um, elementary ed and middle school because we realized like a 16-year-old shouldn't be sitting with a 3-year-old in the classroom. They're not learning the same thing. So we've moved the needle, but we need to keep moving the needle. And here's how, in my opinion, um, in the state of Delaware, especially in Newcastle County, to my knowledge, we have one school of the art, Cab Calloway. And
yeah, great
children
school.
fight. Children fight. Families fight for a spot at Cab Calloway. And it shouldn't be a fight. And a lot of times it's affluent families that are going to get in.
Hmm.
And this is just the way society is. It's
Yeah,
it's who you know, and partially about having talent, but families that were getting their kids violin lessons and paying for it privately, those children are going to be more prepared. So it still
yeah,
becomes the affluent children versus children whose parents couldn't afford for private violin
yeah,
lessons. They're not going to be as prepared for the interview. Um, but I feel like every school district should have at least 3 schools of the art: elementary
yeah.
level, middle school level, high school level.
I agree, and I think that our country, the politicians should work on putting more money into the schools instead of into the prisons.
Absolutely, for
Yeah,
sure, and have specialty schools because children have specialties. You know, we have the one technology school, Conrad, and that's another
yeah. We also
one
have
where fight
we
to
have
get.
we also have Howard and Del Castle, right? Is it Howard High, Del Castle, and what's the one in downstate in Red Clay? Well,
Now those are our VOTEC schools, and I think that that's a successful model in itself.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm trying to, Hodgson is the one.
Oh yeah, my
Howard,
son just said in the
Hodgson,
background St. George's. That's
St.
downstate.
George's.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so we have our VOTEC schools. I think we need more schools of the art and we need
Yeah.
more schools of technology.
Yes.
With the STEM concept,
Yeah.
STEM, which
Do you
stands for
remember back?
science, technology.
Do you remember back then we used to have sewing class, cooking class, and what was it? I guess wood carving class. I remember us having that years ago. They took
Yeah,
that
in high
away.
school.
Yeah.
In high school, yeah. And I think again,
Yeah.
we need more schools where there isn't a competition, there isn't a waiting list. It is an expectation that we are meeting children's needs. That you're not getting that letter saying, "Oh no, you weren't selected for our very elite uh, project over here." You know, we have these specialty schools everywhere, so all needs are met, not
Yes.
just the needs of, you have a population of 10,000 and 500 kids get in. That's not right.
Yeah, that's not right. I think all 10,000 should be able to get in.
Into their specialty. If
Yeah,
you're into
yeah.
STEM, the school is available for you. If you're into the arts, the school is
So
available for
politicians,
you.
if you
If
are
you're into
listening,
tech, huh?
I'm saying if all the politicians that are listening, we need
Yeah,
more stuff into what we're talking about. You need to put
yeah.
more money into education.
Yeah, project-based learning.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like kids, and this will be my final point on this, but for children who are exposed to parents who maybe sell drugs,
Yeah.
they see that, but and society looks poorly on that, and we understand the reasons why. But meanwhile, the skill set that is being learned is one in which we can look for loopholes in a system, right? And there's an entrepreneurial presence there. Let's tap into the positive and twist and let's look at some entrepreneurial opportunities. Let's look at how we can work the system in a positive way, in a legal way. Though the skills are there, they may not have what a traditional classroom
Mm-hmm.
requires in terms of skills, but they are absolutely still intelligent and have aptitude and seeing how to survive, the survival skills,
Yes, the life skills. I
the life
remember us
skills.
learning that. Yeah, in school, I went to like a cooking class and we would rotate. We had cooking class, we had sewing class, and they even had like a daycare class, and we all would rotate those classes.
Yeah.
We're learning life skills.
Right. And then that natural ability to hustle. It doesn't even have to be illegal. I'm not in any way supporting illegal activity, but I've recognized that laws are
Hmm.
unfair. I mean,
Yeah.
someone with one vial of crack can get 10 years, and someone with a kilo of cocaine gets off on probation.
Wow.
So, it's set up for us to fail, but meanwhile, we see
Yeah, I
people
believe that.
every
Yep.
day
Set up
figuring
for
out how
failure.
to maneuver beyond every challenge. So that makes you a very highly intelligent person, that you're able to maneuver beyond every challenge. Let's take that and use it in a way that promotes society and promotes health for us all.
Yes. Okay. And my last question. Okay, I did 9 questions instead of 10. Um, who are some educators who had the most positive impact upon you in your practice? I think, did you mention that at the beginning or we're mentioning it now?
Some educators who have had the most positive impact on me. I'll start right with my kindergarten teacher. There was just a feeling. I knew that she loved me. I knew that she thought highly of me, and it made me want to perform for her. Miss Hoffman, I'm sure she passed
Oh, yeah.
away 30 years ago or more, but
Okay.
the feeling that she gave was incredible, and it launched me forward. So I just, for everyone watching, would say never discount the impact that you can have on someone
Okay.
just by being kind and seeing their gifts, seeing their inner. Um,
Yeah.
I also mentioned Miss Barbara Allen. I was in the process of working on my doctorate and teaching kindergarten, and she pushed me. She did an observation in my classroom, and at the end of the observation, she said, "Seek out more leadership opportunities." And I hadn't really thought of it at that point because I was so in love with the classroom and the children.
Yeah.
But
Get the change back.
it's it's important to see how what more people have inside of them. And she saw that in me. And from there, I went on to write a grant for $30,000 for the school for multicultural education just by her
Awesome.
saying,
That was
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yes, and it didn't stop there. That just propelled me. And then I became a founding board member of a really thriving charter school in Delaware, a founding board member of another educational agency. I went on to publish two children's books. But her just saying
Yeah.
to me that one time, like, you need to seek out some leadership opportunities in education, just set me off, just set me on my course. So
So
again,
kind. So excuse me. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but so to me, being kind as a teacher helps a child in knowing their inner, abilities. Is that how you understand it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, because education has never been about the four walls of a classroom or a school building, I would even charge you as an educator, that you could do the same thing just in your relationships with family members and friends and coworkers. When you see greatness in someone, tell them,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I
because
agree.
to we're all educators in our own right. I
Okay.
do it professionally, but every last one of us is teaching because people are watching us. They're watching us every day and learning how to navigate this life based on what they see us do.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Dr. T. It's a great interview. I really appreciate you taking the time out with us, with me. I love you so much for that. And can you type in the name of your books and your link to, I guess, your Instagram? Actually, I'll put your link in my description box of your Instagram. So, what are the name of the two books that you
Hey,
wrote?
and I have a website. Yes, I will. And my website is www.drheatherltownsend.com. So
Okay.
I'll put that in the comments as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate being
Okay.
a guest. I feel honored to be a guest on your show today.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, guys, I want you to go to her YouTube page and subscribe to it. Click the like button. Please do, whoever's in here. I have 5 people in here, so I want 5 people to flood on over to Dr. T's YouTube. Dr. T, type in your. Oh, wait a minute. I think I have it. Your YouTube link.
I just, oh, you know what? I'm seeing the comments,
Okay.
but I don't see where
Let me see if I can
I
find
can
it real
type.
quick. Let me see if I can grab it real quick, or maybe one of my moderators. Can
Dr.
you
T.
grab?
Uh-huh, Dr. T.
Let me see. I thought I had it here.
I
Oh,
typed it, but it says I'm typing into the private chat, so I'm not on your
oh, okay.
live
You're in my
comment.
private. Got you. Got you.
It looks like I have a
It's called, her YouTube is Dr. T Teaching, but I think I found it here. You have to look, Dr. T, you got to go to my channel and change your name. I did a how-to on that.
Oh, okay.
Instead of saying all those numbers and letters, you could change it to your name. You have
Okay.
do you have 100? You have 100 subscribers yet?
No, I'm at 47 still from the last
Okay.
time you did a live.
Okay, you need 100 subscribers to change it, but you can still try. Who knows? YouTube may allow you.
Okay, I didn't even know I had numbers.
Yeah, you could change it. It'll say like youtube.com Dr. T Townsend, something like that. Whatever you change it to.
Okay.
But I think you need 100 subscribers. But who knows? YouTube changes so much they may allow you to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Pam. That's my good friend Pam. She's a hairdresser. She's a
Hi,
good
Pam.
hairdresser. Yeah, y'all gotta check out her website. I mean her YouTube. Yeah. She has very good products. There's EE. Oh, EE, I posted the channel name above. See the link above? Actually, her name's Dr. T Teaching, T-E-E Teaching on YouTube.
Thank you, Aussie girl.
Oh, you can't click on it, Jasmine? Oh, Jasmine, go to type in Dr. T T-E-E Teaching, and it should show up. It's a yellow, should be like a yellow picture.
With an Ankh. Yes, Ankh is a symbol of life in the Egyptian culture.
Okay, let me go back. They said the link's not working.
Dr. D-R-P-E-E.
Let me try this.
Teaching.
I'm going to do another link. Try that link, guys. See if that works. Let me know if it works. Oh, Doctor. Okay, great. Okay. They said it works.
Pamela is my new, I just
awesome,
got
Pam.
a new subscriber. Thank you, Pam.
Yes,
I'm up to 48.
Yeah, we got to get you to at least 100. We working on it. we gotta work together, all us small YouTubers.
Old Dude's Wisdom, thank you.
Thank you, Old Dude. He's a great person to go to too. Y'all got to check out his YouTube channel. He has very good wisdom. I love his channel.
Okay, I'm going there. I'm heading.
Yeah, if you ever feel down and out, go to his channel. He'll lift you up. He has good commentary. Oh yeah, EE did bake cookies with you a few days ago. They're my Skid Row family.
Oh, okay. Thank you, EE. I'm coming your way. I'm gonna be baking.
Oh, she doesn't bake. EE doesn't bake. I don't know if Dancehall is still here. Dancehall, are you still here? Let me see. Hey, yeah. So Dancehall may check you out as well.
Okay, Pam, I just sent you something.
Yeah, my Skid Row family, they don't bake cookies. They just help here to support. But they will bake cookies with you. You don't have to bake back.
Got you.
Aussie girl says she just baked with you.
They are looking good. They are bouncy. I like
the texture.
Okay, I'm watching Pam's video.
Want to know how
these curls? Naturally beautiful curls. I love it.
Yeah, she has her own hair salon. She's her own entrepreneur.
Very nice.
I'm not feeling at you ladies. How y'all doing today? Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. All who are going to be coming after the videos shut down, and all who came through. Let's see, we had a total of 9 people that came through. That's good for me.
Excellent. That's, yeah.
We're thankful for that. Again, thank you, Dr. T, for taking your special time out with us. And thank you all for being here. And I love you all so much. And
Definitely.
I'm going to end the show about the end this broadcast. And you all come back soon. I will be having more great commentary for everyone, and I plan to do more interviews. And I will bring you back, Dr. T.
I appreciate that. I'd love to.
All right.
We can talk travel or something else next time.
Yeah, traveling. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds like a good one. All right. You're welcome, guys. Love y'all. You have a great day too. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Saying bye.